Hello, niche website builders. Hope you're having
Hello.
a good day. Welcome to H Domain Tuesday. How you doing, Adam?
I'm good. You're going to kill me. I'm in the kitchen and I'm just literally starting to rain. I'm just going to pull the washing in 1 sec. Literally just started to rain as we started. So
Go for it.
the pros and cons of working in the kitchen, right?
So if we've
All done.
all done. Oh, that was that quick.
Done. It was literally on like a thing that Jess put up. Yeah. That quick.
That was quick. That was quick. Well, it's a bit of a heat wave here at the moment. Even though, despite that little spot of rain, we had a little spot earlier, but it's been hot, right? It's been 30 degrees. I think it's going to be 32 later in the week. Like for us, that's hot anyway. It is pretty hot, I think, for anybody. But yeah, it's been a hot week.
It has.
It's going to be a hot couple of weeks, I think. So yeah, but how's things been going with you, Adam? In general,
not too bad. Thank you very much. Went to watch The Lion King in theatre on the weekend, which was really cool actually. It's like the West End show that they brought to Cardiff, so we went to watch that on Sunday, and then Saturday we went to the beach because, like I say, we're on a heat wave, and I've realised like our life basically revolves around food. Like, so we went to this well-reviewed food truck on the beach called Joel's. He's got this old Renault, like yellow, old like from like I don't know, the 20s kind of food truck, and they do amazing kind of like gourmet food. So I had a surf and turf burger, which was unreal. And then went out for some food on Sunday before the show, and it's kind of been it, really.
Nice, yeah. So we just bought stuff for the summer, really. Yeah, we put the garden furniture out. Well, made it. Oh no, we just got it out actually, unwrapped it. We ordered some garden furniture April, May last year because in time for the summer. Well, so we thought we couldn't order anywhere that was going to get there in time. We thought this place can do it. Well, they didn't deliver it till January this year, so that was a bit late. But we were going to move house, so we didn't unpack it. Now we're delayed moving house, and it's really hot. We want to sit outside in the evenings and have dinner and stuff. So, nice. So yeah, we've got it out. Got some parasols to keep the kids in the shade, paddling pools, that kind of thing. So that's what we've been up to.
Nice. And I'm still slumming in the kitchen, obviously, as you can see.
I just noticed Carly asked a question like that hasn't come into Restream. Like he was too. I think she asked it too quick. She was too on the ball. It's gone into YouTube there, so I have to remember to pick that up later. Cool. Anyway, let's see who's here already. We've got Gustavo. We've got Carly, of course. We've got Baz, Chris, Daniel, Robin, Brian, Leanne, and Andy. So welcome everybody. Just a bit of housekeeping before we kick everything off. If you are new around here, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hoping to grow our audience, get more people on the stream, make it more fun and interesting for everybody. Also, always give a shout out to our Building Empires event. If you head over to building.empires.live, we already had an event in June with some great speakers about building online properties. So if you haven't seen that already, you can go and check out the replays there at building.empires.live. But we've also announced our next event in January, February next year. So you can also go and register at the same URL. And in the description, we also have a link out to the latest deals that we have on the site. So if you want to grab a discount with niche website builders, check out the link in the description for that. And last but not least, if we get enough likes by the end of the show, 35 likes, then we'll do a merch giveaway. Got some niche website builders merch, caps, and mugs. Got the works. So please like the episode, and we'll do a merch giveaway at the end.
This one has the niche website builders logo on the back side here, so only I can see it. So
so we've got a guest on the show today, Kevin. He's going to talk to us a little bit about his journey. We had a brief chat with him before the show. He started a site 16 years ago, so it's going to be interesting to see what made him start back then and what's transpired since. We've literally haven't asked him that question yet, so we're going to talk to him about that. And Adam and I purposely are not spending too much time on the site, on their sites ahead of time, so that we can just ask the questions on the fly, and I hope it just be a little bit more organic. We don't want to, the goal isn't to probe too much, is to hear Kevin's story, really. So So we're going to do the Age domain teardowns first, as we usually do, and then we'll bring in Kevin after those. We've got two lovely domains for you today. Which one? Do you want to go first, or shall I, Adam?
Up to you. What do you fancy doing today?
Well, then I went first last time. You can go first this time.
Cool. All right. So today I am going to be covering Stylesqueeze, and I've gone a step further than we normally do with this, in that I obviously look at the domain, I look at some of the competitors, and then actually pulled together the plan for what URLs we would redirect and recreate, that kind of thing. So I can talk you through how I got to that stage. And then also I did the tool rating method with this competitor, designideasguide.com, because I think for the amount of content that it would take, it wouldn't be hard to create content that's better than these guys. And you'll see when we get there, they don't have a ton of content. And then a little bit about where to expand from next. So I've basically done the redirect plan. I've done the keyword research plan, so we can have a little look through those with this plan. So, but like I say, the domain is called Stylesqueeze. It's 5 years old in the home and DIY space. Got some, it's a DR31, so fairly good authority. Got 422 referring domains from the kinds of websites you would hope to get domains from if you were in the home DIY space or home crafting space. So Apartment Therapy is a DR87. Board Panda, which was one of the competitors I found when I was doing the Tomb Radiant plan for this, a DR85. We've got countryliving.com, a DR85, and all kinds of other high DR, high authority type of links that are related to the space. So let me get rid of this caption. Oh, there you go, Mark. And I will share my screen. We can run through it.
Also worth pointing out, which we always forget to mention at the start, is that the domains that we have here that we talk about today are available on the Niche Website Builders website, if it's something that looks interesting to you.
Yes. Awesome. So this is the domain, stylesqueeze.com. We love finding domains like this because you can see that up until recently it was doing okay. It was basically at the peak of where it was in terms of traffic up until kind of May time, and then the domain expired and it dropped off a cliff very quickly. But what we found, and it's not always the case, but usually is the case, that when a domain drops like this and we manage to get it and rebuild the site fairly quick within a couple of months, the traffic can come back a lot quicker. And I think it's to do with the fact that, one, lots of those pieces of content are still indexed. They're still in Google. Google has a history of them. And then when we rebuild them, and that's why I was keen to do the plan to show you what pages we wanted to recreate and redirect, because it's still in the index, Google still goes back and crawl those pages. And then when he sees that they're 301 to a different piece of content, a relevant piece of content that still matches the same intent and still has the same kind of flow of content as the old content, it tends to rank those pieces of content back just as quick as it dropped off. Not always, but like I say, it's more often than not that's the case. So I'm really excited about this domain. I think it's an awesome opportunity, just given this traffic kind of dropping off quite quick. DR31, 414 referring domains. So look at the anchor texts. As always, we order it highest to lowest, and we see up here that Patty Roberts and Patty are actually the primary anchor text here, and that was the author of the website, the person that made the website. And this is their Pinterest account. You can see Patty Robbins. They've got stylesqueeze.com in the URL here, but they've been inactive for, well, in this case, in Pinterest, 20 weeks. But Patty is, this actual lady, Patty Robbins, is quite a well-known in the space. She's done lots of guest posts and talked on lots of, been on lots of related websites talking about kind of doing this kind of thing, home and DIY inspiration types of topics. Now, what I recommend that we do when we rebuild the website is when we create the author persona is that we call it Patty, maybe not Patty Robbins, but we call the first name Patty. And we make up a story. So we're definitely not trying to impersonate Patty Robbins, but there's still some association on the current website, on the author page and the about this page with Patty. And I think that's going to be important with this website, just to maintain kind of like the continuity of, you know, the author being a lady called Patty. And then below that, then you can see that we are brandable. So Stylesqueeze, stylesqueeze.com, Stylesqueeze, Sage from Stylesqueeze, and we can go on down that list. One other thing to mention is, and we won't do this for you, but we will talk you through the steps. There's the potential opportunity for you to acquire this Pinterest account potentially. And what I mean by that is once you own the domain stylesqueeze.com, you can set up what's called a catch-all email address. And that basically means any email that gets sent to anything at stylesqueeze.com. So it could be adam@stylesqueeze.com or random123@stylesqueeze.com. It all gets funneled into this catch-all email address. Now, if this Pinterest account was set up with a, I don't know, patty@stylesqueeze.com email, that catch-all will catch the password reset email when you request to reset the password. And if that happens, then you can reset the password and you can log in. We won't do that for you because, you know, it's up to you wanted to go down that route. But there's the potential with an account like this. It's got 5,000 followers. It could drive a lot of traffic. And even if you didn't want to do this, one of our past clients, very recently, we acquired a domain for her to 301 redirect, and the domain had a Pinterest account. She didn't take control of the Pinterest account, but it started driving lots of referral traffic. At one point, it was driving over 300 visitors a day as referral traffic just from the old Pinterest account, even though the user hadn't been active on there for a long time. So we always look at try and look at what are the social accounts that are associated, and sometimes get these hidden benefits of referral traffic. There's no way to tell prior, but sometimes there's a lot of referral traffic, and sometimes you can actually take control of the account as well. In terms of the referring domains, like I say, we've gone through a little bit of them, but lots of Pinterest, as you would imagine. This was very active on Pinterest, so lots of referring domains from Pinterest and apartment therapy, Bored Panda, country living, Mumsnet, homedit.com, Lifehacker. There's lots of high DR, niche relevant backlinks to this site, to this domain, which is great. And best page by incoming links. Have a look at the which pages have the most links pointing to them. This is awesome in this case that the majority of them are to the homepage, but then we do have a couple down here. This one's got the DI number 4 here, DIY IKEA mop hack cabinet. It's got 15. And then we've got cheap palleted wallboard and batten. That's got 14, and so on and so on. So there's definitely some pieces of content in here that we would want to recreate based on maintaining some of those old links. There's not a ton, but I'll show you exactly what they are based on in the sheet later. And also in this case, because the traffic it was still getting traffic very recently, we've not just based the old URLs we wanted to recreate based on the link profile, but also what are the old pages that used to get traffic. And they may not be the pages that had the most links pointed to them, but we still want to recreate them to try and get that traffic back. If we have a look at back in the day, in January 2020, the page had about 158 pieces of content and used to be kind of all around like DIY stuff, how to make a window seat, boho wooden headboard, painted terracotta plant pots. It's kind of like DIY for the home on how to style rooms, how to style your home, how to do it yourself, like lots of crafting type of stuff for the home. And I think that's a space that we could look at, but also expand into quite quickly. And that's the competitor I've looked at in a little bit. And these are just the top pages that are currently indexed. So it's currently 114, roughly, there or thereabouts. It's not always super accurate. And you can see that they are still driving a little bit of traffic. And based on this report, we've decided that there's going to be a couple of these that we would want to recreate just to maintain some of the traffic and try and bring back some of the old traffic. So this is what the website used to look like. It had this enter site kind of banner on the start. You click enter site, and the design didn't really change. It looked like this. So we've got an about us, a blog, DIY makeover gallery, reviews and giveaways. And it's the same. It's those titles you saw there: DIY hand painted cushions, 10 finds under $100, DIY industry pipe shelves, etc. And like I say, it didn't really. That's not loading because I pulled this up on my computer last night, so it's probably not loading from last night. But the style and the design of the website didn't change, just the content changed over the course of the 5 years it was live. Yeah, so you can see here, it's just different content, but the style and the feel of it was exactly the same. So in terms of competitors, I found this website, which was really interesting. So it's called Design Ideas Guide, DR29, so slightly less authoritative than our website. Been around for about 2 and a bit years, but doing quite well in terms of organic traffic. And when I tell you the site's only got 60 pieces of content and is driving probably 500,000 visitors, it's doing an extremely good job in terms of number of visitors per pieces of content. Extremely well. Really,
Wow, just to say the least.
Yeah, 60 pieces of content driving that kind of those kinds of visitors is really, really good. And when you look at the site, there's nothing special on there. But and this is what I love, it's our favorite type of content, the type of content that we bang on about all the time, listicles, like 63 best best doorless walk-in shower ideas. And all the pieces of content on here are to do with ideas for your home. So if we look at here, we've got video game room ideas, basement bar ideas, teenage girl bedroom ideas. And it's not a million miles to think that once you've done a little bit of creating the old URLs around crafting in the home, that you couldn't branch out into this kind of content. And this is the way that we would recommend you go, is to go through, okay, well, you've got a little bit of crafting. What about ideas for different things around the home? So you've got kitchen wall decor ideas, lawn edging ideas, shower tile ideas. And if you look at the content, it's not particularly difficult content. We can see they're in Mediavine. This is the Mediavine banner. And literally it's got an introduction, and then you've got a subheading, and then awesome video game rooms with multiple monitors, an image, and a couple of sentences around what that is. And then you've got one with themed decorations of furniture, image, couple of sentences. And they've done that for 40 different types of video game rooms, essentially. And then same for 59 best apartment bar ideas, introduction, and then small basement bar, image, sentence or two, rustic basement bar, image, and then a sentence or two. It's a very templated and repeatable and easy type of content to create. You don't have to be a subject matter expert. This content can be easily outsourced, which is why we love it, because you don't have to be an expert to find good images and come up with different ideas for basement bar ideas, in essence. So this site is doing really, really well. And what I did was I pulled this together, this spreadsheet. And the way I did this was I pulled out all of the top URLs. I pulled out all of the traffic for each URL based from SEMrush. So this is the SEMrush. And it says that this one piece of content gets 17,000 visits per month. So there's one post. And I pulled out the title as well. And then from there, I worked out what the word count was for each of these pieces of content. And then I worked out, on average, if they've got 40 best video games, how many words were they allocating to each for the 40? And then I added 5 to each of them. So instead of doing 40, we would do 45. And instead of doing 59, we do 64. And then I added the additional word count on. So our piece of content will be slightly longer. We'll have 5 additional ideas. And that's the way that we would make our piece of content better and stand out a little bit more. And I only went down to, so they had 60 pieces of content. We only want to recreate 49 because, and that's arguable. Like, this is down to the pieces of content that get 140 visits per month. You could, if you wanted to, just go down to the ones that just get 1,000 visitors a month and just create 33 pieces of content from this website, and that would be an awesome start. So the plan is done. Essentially, we've got a plan for making our content better, slightly longer, more in depth, covering a couple more ideas, and that's where I think we should start. And I'll talk about where do you go after this, because this is great having a plan for 39 pieces of content, but where do you go next once you've done those 39? And I found another site that kind of take it a step further and go into more depth, which we'll have a look. But before we get onto that, also want to have a look at this URLs to recreate piece of page. This is where I did, it's basically broken into 2 sections. We've got page URLs that we want to recreate based on past links or traffic. So this means they either used to get lots of traffic, or they have referring domains that we want to keep, links that we want to keep, or they had both. So in this case, we've got 22 pieces of content that we want to recreate because they've got good referring domains, or they used to get lots of traffic. And then underneath that, then we've got another 11 pieces of content that we'd want to recreate, not because they've got awesome links. In fact, none of them have any referring domains to them, but they used to get lots of traffic, and they made up a good chunk of when the site was driving. If we look back here, it was driving this 4,000 or 5,000 visitors per month. these pieces of content here made up a decent chunk of that. So all in all, we would want to recreate around 33 pieces of content. The team would go in and they would come up with titles that match this and look at what the content used to be on way back and design a plan around this. But we would recommend starting with these 33 pieces of content here and then moving on and creating these potentially up to these 49 pieces of content here as well. So this is if you're interested in this domain, like the keyword research and plan is already done, like we could get started straight away. Just to give you a kind of insight into how what our typical process looks like. You have an onboarding call and then you talk to the team and they share their ideas with you, kind of like what this looks a little bit like, but they probably wouldn't have created this spreadsheet. They tell you this is what the plan that we would like to do. Do you have any ideas? In this case, that's already done. So if you were interested in getting started on a site ASAP, you didn't want to wait for an onboarding call, you didn't want to wait for the team to go away and do the keyword research and come back to you, we could literally get started on this project today, essentially, and we could have it up and running pretty quick for you. So I thought it's worth mentioning that because that's not typically the way the process works. You'd have an onboarding call, then you'd have the keyword research and then a bit of back and forth, but this is already done in this case. And then to finish off, kind of like where would you take the site from here? And I found this website then, which is called soulandlane.com. So DR21, so even lower authority than the previous competitor we looked at. A massive, massive explosion in traffic. The site's been around for some time, but really they only started adding content to it kind of end of 2021, beginning of 2022. And you can see that has resulted in this massive explosion. And we have a little look at the number of pages. They've got a lot more traffic. They've got 966 pieces of content here, but it's the similar type of content that we have on the other one. It's all listicles, 38 black hardware on white cabinets for a classic kitchen. And again, image, a little bit of text, and then on to the next one. Image and a little bit of text, image and a little bit of text. Thank you. Same for the next one. It's the same kind of content, same structure, same format, same template. But these guys have managed to do a great job in terms of their keyword research. They found literally almost 1,000 different topics they can talk on. And while we would do the Tomb Raider method on this, I imagine if we looked at this site in another 6 months, probably going to be 500,000-600,000 visitors given its current trajectory. So the fact that they are on this upward trend means that we could also get in on this upward trend. We could look at what pieces of content have started doing really well for those guys, recreate that content, and then come back to them in 6 months, look at the plan. Have they created new content? Is content that we missed last time now starting to rank and drive more traffic? Update our plan and come back and create that content as well. And that's it. That's my overview and run through on this domain.
Excellent. Carly mentioned she's done the same for Twitter, as you mentioned there, on Pinterest. So yeah, they can do it through domain auth by uploading a file, which makes it a lot easier. Some platforms are more difficult than others. Twitter's pretty easy by all accounts, but sounds it if that's what you need to do. Yeah, awesome. I'll jump onto ours, the other one. So we've got Cottage Mysteries. So this one, domain age is around 5 years. We'll come to the referring domains and stuff in a minute. It's a pretty low authority site, DR12. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I'll take this off and I'll just go straight into sharing the screen. So there you go. So this, this is the listing on our website. So you can go ahead and check that out in the Age Domains menu here. So the site has had the same number over the 5-year period of time. The site design has been pretty much the same throughout. I mean, it looks a bit funky in Wayback, but you can see it's effectively the same site. But what's interesting about this one, if I go to the about, is that this person, Samantha McGraw, used to own the blog. And it really was a blog about stuff that she was interested in. So she talked about chocolate, afternoon tea, cottage living, and mysteries, hence Tea Cottage Mysteries. So there's a number of angles you think possibly could take. Is it a bit broad? But actually, when you kind of dig into it, there's a lot of tea-based kind of content. there. There's some mystery-based content where she has interviews with people of books, like mysteries books or mystery books that she likes, that she's kind of interviewed and then written a blog about. But generally, like the majority of the content is around kind of tea-based content. So this is kind of the domain. So say it's a DR15, 154 referring domains. It's not been in use since about August last year. It's never had a huge amount of traffic over time. But then I think it was just she was never aggressively trying to grow it from an SEO perspective. It was just something that was
Passion
her
projects.
own passion project, part-time project. So if you look at the top pages by incoming links, as you'd hope, like the home page is kind of the primary acquirer of referring domains. But there are a few others. So what I will say is that there is, in terms of the food aspect, there is some food that she used to have on the site. So it was all about like tea and cake and things like that. So what things go with so she should have some recipes about specific.
Making me hungry, Mark. I could do with some tea. I could do some cake with my tea right now.
But as you can see, like a lot of that content, recipe content is more likely to get, I guess, the kind of the links. But she's got a few links here to like crepe stack, coconut cakes, edible gift ideas, apple tea cakes. And there's kind of other stuff that's kind of a bit more out there. But she's got Valentine's gift ideas for writers, which is kind of a little bit stranger. But again, she was just writing what she likes about. But again, it's still quite a lot of tea stuff. So Valentine's gift for tea lovers. What's some other tea? Steeping tea the right way. I don't even know what steeping tea is, but anyway, it's tea storage jars. There was so a bunch of stuff there. If we take a look at the anchors, again, we'd hope that it was mainly branded anchors, which is. But again, she's got, we've already just seen the referring domains. There aren't that many, but apple tea cakes, and then we've got other food-based ones. But then tea lovers gifts here. What other best ones are there? Yeah, so many of that kind of stuff, but pretty like authentic, pretty genuine. Like there's nothing out of the ordinary there you wouldn't like expect to see. And if we take a look at the backlinks, you can see that actually I'll sort by DR. So actually got a link here from Huffington Post, which obviously is a great link to get from, a great link to get, DR92. But it's a good mixture of, actually pretty high authority links here, and then more kind of niche specific links kind of further down. So we've got mega makes and things down here. So a lot of like directory stuff, which is just kind of, nothing that's really going to give you value. Hence, she's got quite a few backlinks, but it's still only at 15. So these aren't going to really give you much authority. But she's got a lot of links kind of from other kind of bloggers within the same niche as well. So taking a look at some of the sites, there was this that might be worth kind of taking some learnings from. There's this one, Afternoon Tea Reads. It's a DR23, so not a particularly high authority. So we're at 15 at the moment. It wouldn't take a lot to get up to this kind of level. This is one of those sites that actually benefited from the May core updates. You can see here is where the core update was, approximately 25th of May, and you can see that the trajectory of the number of keywords and everything actually really uplifted from that side. So I'm really interested in the ones that we saw some upside from, and I keep mentioning that I'm planning to dig into a few of these and see if we can spot any patterns onto why some have been successful. What I'd say about this site, well, yeah, it's pretty authentic, like the original site this domain was on. It was a pretty authentic. It's a very authentic site. It's a very authentic kind of blog. That I think that kind of that's another thing, a good thing about it.
We love that kind of content as well, don't we? Different. That looks like reviews of tea rooms in certain locations. Is it? Is that what it is? Is that what the kind of content?
Yeah, it's got a mixture actually.
Okay.
Reviews of subscription boxes. But yeah. So I'm just looking on the fly now. So she's got. Oh, that's not Twitter. Instagram. Yeah, she's got a few followers on Instagram, and she's got a Facebook post. Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, having we mentioned in the last stream, like having some social kind of social. What's the word? Having some of that kind of social authority is kind of good as well, to associate with your site, because Google's going to see that and kind of give your site more credibility if you have like active kind of social profiles as well. Yeah, but in answer to your question, Adam, looking at some of the content, a lot of tea-based stuff here. So the benefit risks of hibiscus tea, is that the right way to pronounce that? I'm not sure. Benefits and risks of chamomile tea. So there's lots of kind of benefits of tea-based content. 5 teas to avoid on your period. Turmeric tea. The truth is adding honey to your tea toxic. I've not heard that before, but how to travel with a cat in a car. Yeah. So if you take a look at this one again, it's like she's got a mixture of stuff. This whole load of stuff on tea, but it's not the only stuff she does. She does travel as well. So it's a bit more of a travel rather than travel food blog, but travel tea blog almost.
Yeah.
So it's, I think kind of benefits of different kinds of teas there is something that stands out for me. But yeah, and there's some best of kind of guides here as well. So best Earl Grey tea comparison. So moving on to the next one, Artful Tea. So this one is actually an e-commerce site. So you can actually go ahead and buy tea on there. It's not the only thing you can buy. You can buy tea accessories, teapots and cups and stuff like that as well. And there's no reason why in time, if that's something that you wanted to kind of get into, why you couldn't expand this site once it's starting to get some traffic into actually selling some tea-based products as well. There's also tea subscription boxes that you can promote, or even create your own tea subscription box. Should you get enough traffic, and should you be that way inclined that you want to go ahead and work out how you're going to source tea and put together subscription boxes. But those kind of subscription boxes are huge at the moment, and if you get it right, you could do you can do very well with that kind of thing. So taking a look at this one, currently gets around 188,000 organic. It's a DR40, which is still not excessively high. I mean, it's higher than we've got at the moment, 15, but you can see that over time, if you work on the site, maybe work on some backlinks as well, rather than just waiting for them to come organically. I get there a little bit more quickly. There's no reason why you can get to a DR40 reasonably quickly. So yeah, 188,000, which we know is probably at least double that. And take a look at the content here. So we've got types of tea. We've got best teas for type content. So best teas for migraines, which is something that kind of piqued my interest. Best teas for inflammation, best teas for a cold. And then, other question-based content as well. What is orange? Oh, I've done something here. That kind of black tea, pico. Chai tea benefits. We're back to the benefits here again. Tea brewing temperature guide. So there's a whole load of content. And actually, I was quite surprised when I looked at this, and I'll show you some kind of a little bit of keyword research I did as well in a minute. If you look at the search, the traffic these guys are getting from these, and the volume is 13K here. So obviously being in position one, they're getting the majority of the traffic. But I mean, these are high numbers for pretty simple ginger tea benefits. What does matcha taste like? Like, to get that kind of traffic is awesome. So I think I'll come to it a little bit. And this one's a bit of more of a modest site, but there was one thing that was interesting to me about this one. So it's called Lecturing Tea. Has around 28,000 traffic at the moment. But what was interesting about this one, I think, was that it's got not a lot of pages, 157 articles on this site again. So, and you take a look at the articles here. Is green tea acidic? How long does brewed tea last? So again, lots and lots of informational content. And, there's quite a few that we've gone through there, which we wouldn't have kind of necessarily thought of. And then the classic kind of how to clean type of content, how to clean tea kettle, which no one really wants to write, how you clean stuff. But tends to do quite well because nobody wants to write about it. That's what I found anyway. And anyway, so if we move on to just a little bit of keyword research, I just searched tea here in Ahrefs. And actually, there was about 250,000 question-based keywords that came up on straight away. I kind of filtered this down a little bit, so that there was at least a minimum keyword difficulty of 1. So just give us some kind of there's got something there just to narrow it down a little bit. So that's because with Ahrefs, keyword difficulty doesn't always register because it doesn't have enough data, and therefore, I thought because there were so many keywords, I may as well narrow it down. So I also took away keywords buy and cost because I'm not really interested in articles that is how much does XT cost, or where can you buy tea. I think where you mentioned actually, Adam, like the location based stuff, that's probably fine, but where you can buy, when it's buying from Costco and stuff like that, I kind of tend to ignore that kind of content. Anyway, if you kind of take a look at this in the question based, it's pretty good. How to decaffeinate tea, where to find tea tree oil, forget that. So I want to exclude oil, really. I'm going to exclude oil as well. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess up what I've done. Anyway, I would exclude oil because there's some tea tree oil stuff in here as well. But just coming down here, how to seal tea bags, what does jasmine tea taste like? I thought it was interesting because I looked at this one, this is a keyword difficulty 1. It's what does milk tea taste like? 1.2k kind of search volume there. Took a look at the SERPs. You can see actually DR29 is the top hit for that. It's got bubble tea, interestingly, as the top hit there, rather than milk tea. But I'm guessing there's a connection there. And then we got, if you take a look at the other ones, we've got a 39, a 2, a 7, and a DR2. So in the top 10, we've got very low authority sites, which is like a really good sign. Take a look at. So I took a look at other taste-based keywords. So I just filtered that down again and added the keyword taste. And you can see that all the different types of tea, it's what do they taste like. And again, not insignificant volumes considering the difficulty of the keywords. If you wrote articles for each of these, you've got a good chance of kind of ranking for them. Obviously, we'll do a little bit more deeper research than this, but in theory, there's a good 71 articles we could potentially write there just about what tea tastes like, and that's just one small part. Taking a look at, I did a search for best tea, and again narrowed it down by putting a keyword difficulty of 1 here, and you can just see all of the best ofs. So best tea in Boston, as you mentioned there, Adam, for location based. Best kind of Keurig teapots, plus glass tea kettle.
Put in the search here, instead of best tea, put in tea in the search at the top. See what comes up.
I've got that, mate. Next. Oh, have I? Oh no, I haven't got in yet. I've got with and for. So let me
take best out and just put tea in. See what comes up.
Okay. Tea.
In. No, put in at the end. Yeah, space in. Yeah. Try that.
I'll do that, but I want to do phrase match, right?
Oh, it's in different languages. I was thinking might give us locations.
I think if we do best tea in.
I always find best sometimes gives in that it really narrows it down if you put best in. But sometimes not.
Yeah, we've got some here, I guess. Yeah, but that doesn't. Yeah, it's done. How to make tea in a microwave and stuff like that. But I guess you could dig it out, right? That's quite a lot of keywords there. So
yeah, definitely.
We just have to dig it out a little bit. But yeah, I've done. I sort of narrowed it down again for 4. So we've got best tea for sore throats, for weight loss, and again 12,500 of just these kind of long tail best tea 4 type articles. So lots of affiliate opportunities with this. And I put with as well. So best tea with honey, best biscuits with tea, best tea with antioxidants. So there's yeah, a whole bunch of kind of affiliate opportunities there. Took a look at some affiliate programs. There's this article going to each of them. 10 affiliate programs. Another one here with 10 affiliate programs. This one always features in all of them because it's a pretty good program. It's a 10% commission with a 90-day cookies. And taking a look at our friends over at Authority Hacker, you can see that Artful Tea also has a subscription. And actually you get 10% recurring on those subscriptions. So I think it said there's a 12-month. I guess you probably don't have to sign up for the whole 12 months. But yeah, yes, you can get recurring revenue on those subscriptions as well, which is pretty good. So, and that's the other things you can kind of review. There's a number of tea subscription boxes, isn't there? There's one called Brew. I don't know if they have an affiliate program, but I'm sure there's probably a lot of subscription boxes. But these are the kind of, say you wanted to go down the subscription box route, this is something you can kind of look at as well. If you end up building enough of an audience and getting enough traffic, but that's pretty much covers it all, I think.
Nice, that's awesome.
Okay.
Kevin looks like he's just gone to make a cup of tea or something. Actually, cup of tea.
I got him thinking about tea. That's probably what it was. So yeah, sorry, I overran a little bit there again, haven't we? We have to try and work out what we're going to do here. But yeah.
Yeah, Chris says, hey, Chris, by the way, nice to see you all, man. Subscriptions boxes would be huge in this niche. Yeah, I think it would be. There's some spaces where subscription boxes could be huge.
They're huge. They're already huge. Coffee and tea and that, aren't they? So
Kevin's back now.
Kevin's back. So let's bring Kevin in. So we don't know much about Kevin, so we're about to find out. So, hey, Kevin.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for being patient.
Yeah,
for us.
I needed some tea for that.
Although there was only coffee in the US, I didn't think there was a.
I've been living on iced tea and coffee for basically the entire summer. So
iced tea. I've never tried iced tea. The thought, I don't know if it's because I'm British, but the thought of cold tea, oh no, not for me.
You don't like much, though, to be fair, Adam. Like
no, that's I don't like much. Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin, so where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lincoln, Nebraska. And you have to tell me, Adam, what's in a surf and turf burger?
Oh, it was just a meat burger, and then they had prawns on top, which had been dipped in. I can never say. Is it chipolate sauce? Is that how it's pronounced? Yeah. Chipolate sauce.
Chipotle.
Chipotle sauce, and it had cheese on the burger, and it had a bacon in there, and it was so messy to eat because it just fell out everywhere, but unreal.
It sounded fantastic.
I thought chipotle would be a bit spicy for you, Adam.
It was a little bit spicy. You had to have some chips with it, like bite a burger and like 5 chips to cool it down. But yeah, I say chips, I mean fries for our American audience as well.
It's all good. We know what chips are.
Okay, to tell us, Kevin, when did you get started in with building websites?
I got started actually back in like 2002. I bought an outfitting business in Idaho and Montana, and the business was taking people hunting in the backcountry. And so we bought this domain, gotelk.com, and we built our business based on all of our booking basically came from the internet. So, we were one of the first big outfitters that had, more than basically a website that was just a billboard. But we started a blog with that, and we would write these articles and tell hunters what they would need in order to come hunting with us. It was, here's the best boots to come on a trip with us, or here's the best gear, or here's the physical fitness things that we ask you to do before you come, or, how to sight in your rifle. And we would write these articles for our blog, and our traffic just kept booming and booming. And I actually found that I liked running the website a whole lot more than I liked running the outfitting business.
Right.
And so I sold my portion of the outfitting business, and I bought huntinglife.com basically the very next day. And huntinglife.com was a domain that at that time had been built by somebody else and then kind of gone offline for probably a year. And I just started filling it with content.
Yeah, I mean, Huntinglife.com, yeah, it's a good domain name. You don't get those anymore. It's not that easy anymore. It's not, yeah, none left.
Well,
But
I think
okay,
they're
so
still out there. I think it's just, really just kind of scouring the domain market. I just bought whiskeymaps.com probably 3-4 months ago, and it's going to be a really great domain.
What was that?
So they're out there. You just got to kind of
What did you say?
whiskeymaps.com. Yep.
Nice. That's really brand
Yeah.
new.
Super excited about it.
What are you planning to do on that one? I don't want to get too far off topic, but are you planning anything big with that one?
What we're going to do is we're going to do breakdowns by city. So if you're going to San Francisco, there'll be basically a whiskey map for San Francisco. It'll be, the 5 best bars to go to get a great whiskey drink, the 5 best old fashions, the 5, 5 local distilleries that are within, 20 miles of downtown. People can kind of like utilize that as kind of a national source or a worldwide source to go and find, the best whiskey around the world.
That's awesome. Yeah, we've done something similar in a broader space for a couple of customers, and one I'm thinking of specifically is targeted towards the Australian audience, and worked out incredibly well. So rather than just look at whiskey, we looked at other different things, but we did it by city. So started with the cities with the highest population and worked backwards from there. And that site's taken off tremendously now. So I've got no doubt that strategy will be successful for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. We'll have to chat offline about how we can maybe work together on that.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. No, that's good. So back to the hunting site then. What have you done with it since you started, since you bought it?
Well, when we started, it was, let's see, when we started, it was 2006. And so, I first built the site in a kind of a CMS format. And, then in 2010, we switched over to WordPress, and we've been with WordPress ever since. Learning, at the time we built it kind of to be an outfitter directory, and kind of the bottom, changed in that we went through a recession in 2007. So, we quickly switched it over and pivoted it to kind of be a national news source. And now we're kind of like all things. We actually have an online digital magazine that we've built with it, that we do 6 issues a year. And we really focus on diversity and inclusion in the hunting space. And then on top of that, we are, very focused on, gear reviews and, hunting trips and destination articles and a little bit of everything.
Awesome. One thing I noticed on there, I couldn't see any like display ads just purely on the site. What's the monetization strategy with the site? How are you making money from it?
There should be display ads on the right-hand side of the page.
Just in the sidebar, right? But there were nothing. I couldn't see any in the content.
No, yeah, we kind of build it in the sidebar, and then as far as in the content, we have some affiliate links inside, and then we just build great relationships with people, and kind of move forward that way.
That's awesome. And one thing I wanted to ask about the adverts in the sidebar, are they through a network, or did you put them in there? Because I noticed the first banner ad was used a Bitly link, and I thought that was strange from an ad network. So I don't know if you manually put the ads in there and worked out some kind of private deal, or were they?
Yeah, we kind of have an ad. We have an ad plugin basically on the site, and basically all of the ads that we have on the site are, for the most part, deals that we work out individually with those companies. And then we do a little bit of affiliate ad.
I just want to pick your brains on that, because I think a lot of our audience are at the point where they've got traffic and they're monetizing with display ads, and they might be using like Amazon or another affiliate program, and they would love to go and get private partnerships like these kind of deals. How did you start that? How would you recommend someone goes and finds those people and negotiates? How do you work out how much they're going to pay you? Like how does that whole model work?
Well, so for me, I basically built a media kit that I basically looked at kind of the other sites that were out in the market, and I basically decided, okay, I've got this many sites and I want to bring in this much income per month on the site, so I can sell each of those ads for this fee basically. in order to be able to make that income and know that, our costs are going to be covered, for our writers or for our VA, et cetera. And so we want to make sure that, we're bringing in this much income on a monthly basis. And so I basically, know that I've got, 8 ads available to me, and I'm going to sell them at this price in order to make that much money.
And did you just do cold outreach then? Did you just reach out to people and say, hey, I've got this media kit? Or did you, because I saw the media kit page, and just a side note, I clicked it, but it's something seems to be broken on there. I couldn't see the media kit. It's got like some short code, just for you to know. But are people finding that media kit page naturally and organically, or are you doing outreach to get people and then sending them the media kit?
So we work with a lot of the PR agencies in our particular industry. And so they kind of reach out to us because they want us to, run press releases on the site. And we have a news section that's in Hunting Life. And so we run press releases for a lot of those PR agencies, and they in turn put our media kit in front of their clients. And so it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. And then, we just do direct sales to the companies that we want, and we're very selective in who we go after. Like we're tremendous fans. I mean, I've got a sporting dog here, and we're big fans of Eukanuba, and so we kind of went after them. They're probably as far as they're a huge monster company, and so that was probably the hardest one that we've ever worked on, because it took a couple of years to get them as a sponsor. But a lot of the companies we work with are smaller companies. And, it's really not hard to kind of pick up the phone and find a way to get hold of the direct, person in charge of that, and, just have a conversation with them. And I always have a philosophy of give, ask. And so, we'll do a product review of their specific product, and, we'll talk about their product. And I won't, have an advertiser on my site that isn't a company that I believe in.
Yeah, no, that's great. And also, I think it's really cool. It's cool that you mentioned you literally pick up the phone. I don't know if it's a generational thing now, but like the younger audience, they hate picking up the phone. I think most of them, the thought of picking up the phone and calling someone and speaking to someone on the other end, I think it just scares them. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
It's amazing how many people won't even pick up the phone to call me for a meeting. They're like, well, we can do a Zoom. I'm like, and I think it's because they're just afraid of having somebody else have their phone number these days. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
How do you figure out how to? What's the charging model you have for the ads? How do you figure out what to charge?
Basically, I looked at basically what some other sites were doing, or I looked at what an affiliate would be doing if I had an affiliate ad. And I basically just, priced it at, 20% higher than that. So, if I knew that I was going to run an affiliate for, Amazon ad, in that space, and I was going to make $500, I could come in and basically say, okay, what's going to be $700 for that particular size ad. And that's basically how I came up with the pricing. I will say that I think it's a detriment that most, website owners, et cetera, they price too low for ad space. And so, price according to the traffic that you have, and price according to, the reputation that you have online, and know that you're bringing value to those brands. Whether they're seeing that much revenue come back in click-throughs or they're not, you're still branding for those companies in a big way. And you should be very, very confident in working with those particular brands.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's almost know your worth then in the space.
Yeah, I mean, my goal basically is to make $10,000 or $15,000 from every brand that we work with, and we want to earn that across running social campaigns for them, running content articles for that particular brand, running banner ads for that particular brand, videos. We have a newsletter that we send out that has 48,000 subscribers. And we, of course, have a digital magazine that we produce. And our digital magazine is actually like a real magazine, and it has flipbook, content in it. And I hire professional writers to write, articles in that magazine. And so, we run full page and 2-page spreads in that magazine as far as ad content. And, I price accordingly for it, just like a regular magazine would.
That's
Interesting.
awesome.
So, are you able to share like kind of any traffic numbers or revenue numbers? You can share as much or as little as you'd like in that respect.
I'm not really ready to share my traffic numbers. I will say that my traffic is probably a lot lower than most people think, and really that's a condition of, I had the Field of Dreams mentality when I built this. I wasn't an SEO. And so, we've got some mistakes and things that are going on our site, and it's a learning curve for me. And so, I'm really at the stage right now where I just need to hire a company to come in and kind of help me rebuild the website as far as like the design and the build, and, kind of clean up some, schema errors and just plain website errors all the way through the entire site. And then we just need to do some, absolute basic, just normal SEO tasks that, every site should be doing. And we just haven't done them because we've been like, okay, let's go build a magazine, or let's go, I kind of have a shiny, mentality of like, well, I'm going to go build a magazine, or I'm going to hire this author, or I'm going to go do this with this particular advertiser. And the general day-to-day maintenance of, doing SEO wasn't something that I had the training in. So I just kind of, put that on the back shelf, and that was a mistake. So, but our digital magazine's getting quite a bit of traffic. Our website's not getting as much traffic as I'd really like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is great because, this is very much like a normal business, right? A traditional business. Like a lot of people that work in our space, it's very much like, as Adam says, it's kind of much more hands off. They're looking to monetize through ads and affiliate, but not direct deals, like through networks and stuff like that. So it's all kind of, don't have to really talk to anybody. It's great that you're talking about is doing actually a lot more traditional kind of stuff around. You're building assets off the website. Yeah.
Yeah, I still really like talking to, companies and, PR agencies and things like that, and actually having conversations about like, okay, what could we be doing that would actually make a difference in regards to our client? We still work with traditional affiliate networks like AvantLink and, Amazon occasionally, but, the vast majority of the projects that I want to be working on, I'd much rather be working direct if I could.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So, what you obviously got a lot of experience working on this site. You mentioned you were starting on another site, but what sort of what have you learned along the way? What are some of the tips that you would kind of share with our audience?
First and foremost, like if you're working on a piece of content, build the best piece of content you can, and then basically promote the hell out of that particular piece of content. As kind of here's your main piece of content, and then create basically pieces of content. I can't even get it on screen. Create basically strings back to that piece of content. So make sure that you get backlinks to that piece of content, share that piece of content out on social media, and then don't be afraid to revitalize it if you're not seeing the traffic that you could from that particular piece of content.
Yeah. That's something else here you mentioned that we haven't really spoken about is your social channels. So wow, I just looked at your I just went down to the bottom and I looked at your page. You got 250,000 likes on your Hunting Life page, on your Facebook page, which is
we have a little over 300,000 followers across social media, whether you can count Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. And it's been kind of the value of that is many years of just building great organic content for our readers, fans, and followers, and consistently taking care of that audience, and putting things out there in front of them. And we've done everything from doing sweepstakes for our audience members to just putting out the best content that we can, all the way across the entire board. And 100% of that has been organic growth over the many years. We've also been a little lucky at certain points. We were, because it's hunting that we write about, and we promote hunting and conservation internationally all across the entire world, we've also come under attack a couple of times from anti-hunters. And so in that process, we've had some articles written about us, and that had some traffic gains, and where people kind of came and supported us on one side, and while others were attacking us on the anti-hunting side. So
bit of controversy bringing the traffic both sides then.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. It was a nightmare to go through. I would much rather build just great content and go from there. Yeah. But having lived through it, at the time, it ultimately was really good for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something we definitely don't talk about enough on this channel, and I know that I definitely don't do enough of is setting your the opportunity on your social channels by sharing stuff on your social channels, having 300,000 across, so it's 50,000 on Twitter, and 250,000 on your Facebook page. That's quite powerful for any brand. Yeah.
I was just learning from you guys because it reminded me that I needed to go back and refresh my Pinterest page and make sure that we're getting the content and articles back into Pinterest, because it's, we have a Pinterest audience, and we've spent some time, developing that. And, in going to conferences like Affiliate West and things, I remember talking with people about Pinterest, and, like I said, it's one of those things, like you focus on it, and it's like, okay, then that goes to the back of the shelf, and you focus on the next shiny object. And I just wrote down like, hey, Pinterest refresh.
Awesome. All right. Well, Kevin, it's been really interesting, and actually like a totally different angle to a lot of the stuff we talk about, and it's really refreshing because we know what we know, and we talk about like the same stuff like that we know, but like it's really interesting. You've definitely got me thinking about some different things that we should be exploring for both my own portfolio, but also for our clients as well. So so thanks for coming on, and thanks for like sharing.
Well, hey, I know I appreciate the opportunity, and I certainly learned a bunch watching you guys talk through those websites today. You had some really amazing tips that were things that I need to think about, like, as I'm going through Ahrefs and I'm looking at my site and thinking, I would love to have you guys tear my site apart and tell me what I could do better.
I was going to suggest that actually, I think there is quite a lot of opportunity looking at your site and what's there briefly. I think there are definitely opportunities for some quicker wins, I think. So yeah, we're definitely happy to have a further chat with you kind of offline.
Outstanding. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'll continue to be a fan, and I'll continue to be watching you guys as this continues to grow.
Excellent.
Thanks, David.
Right, what we're going to do now is the draw for the merch. I've not been very good at promoting the likes today, so we're only at 26. So we're going to do the draw anyway. So if you're interested in some merch, cap or a mug or a t-shirt, type something in the chat now, and we'll do it in about 2 minutes or so. You got to type something in the chat, or you won't get in the draw. That's just the way it works, I'm afraid. Type anything.
Do it now.
Adam, should we talk about next week or the other stuff that we got on this week? So this week, tomorrow, we got the Niche Lifestyle Show with Doug Cunnington and Alex Cooper from WP Eagle. The truth about motivation is the topic. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, and it's actually on our channel. So same place, just an hour earlier than today for that. So tune in for that tomorrow on the Niche Website Builders channel. And also, using Link Whisper for internal linking is the topic for Thursday. So we've missed 2 weeks of the Website Investing Show now, but on Thursday, same place, same time for a talk on using Link Whisper, and then we'll have a Q&A and stuff as we usually do at the end. Okay, so how are we doing? Anything else to add, Adam? Anything new that we should have mentioned that I mentioned?
No, I don't think so. I think you've covered it all there. I see Tony in the chat saying he won't enter this one as he just got here. I think you should put your name in, Tony, to be fair. Check your name in the hat.
Okay, let's get some music going, Adam. I'll also share. It's been a few weeks since we've done this, so This is what you could win. Slightly different designs, full logo, partial logo. Actually working. We've got mugs, 2-tone color mugs, no less. So now you're going to type something in the channel, right? Now you're going to.
Obviously, now you are. Yeah.
This is Tony. Tony, he didn't want to enter because he's already got some merch. So
we need some photos from the people that have won already as well. I know we ask.
It should be a prerequisite, right?
It feels like this is like some kind of Ponzi thing where we just never send out the merch. We always ask for winners because we never get any photos back. But like I promise, we do send them out. Like people are having them. They just won't send photos in.
All right. I think we're going to stick it in around there, I think. Let me just get this ready. Okay, let's do it. Okay, very few people this week. Everybody's dodging the merch this week. Let's do it.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
It's not gonna be Tony.
That's
the dev. Looks like. Awesome. Congratulations, Baz the Dev. Head over to the Niche Website Builders website at nichewebsite.builders and yeah, type something in the chat or on the contact form and we will get your merch out to you. Anything else before we go? Anything to add, Kevin, before we go?
No, guys, go have a great week. Attack the market.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Well, thanks again, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you tomorrow, Thursday, for our other shows this week. And yeah, we'll catch you again next time.
Awesome. Cheers, everyone. Bye. Bye, Kevin. Thank you.
Bye-bye.